It is race day in BPNR. We head down under to Australia's most recognizable racetrack that isn't Bathurst. It is Barba Barbagallo. We've been calling it Barbagallo last season, which pronunciation moment. Just west in the Western Australian turf in Europe sits this fine racetrack opened in 1968, and the V8 supercars have been coming here on and off since 1973. So, whilst qualifying is ongoing, we look at the points heading into the race. 3 races have been completed so far in Season 8. Jolene Sims at the top of the chart. Dunlop Pratt, after a late wreck, demoted to 2nd place. Then is a tie for 3rd place with Tala Aziz and William Viola. On the cut line are Daniel Rodriguez, Cole Rodriguez, and currently occupying the 2 wildcard spots are Kirsten Bell and Carter Friesen. William Gregory is 11th, but doesn't have a win to compensate for it, or nor is it just he hasn't been proving himself too much as opposed to Bell and Carter Friesen. So, road course. Got 7 turns. We'll go over the onboard lap shortly. So, whilst we're still waiting, got 1 more minute left on the clock. William Viola, currently on provisional pole, only 2 1,000ths of a second quicker than Carter Friesen. The 67 team trying to go back-to-back. It is Pratt and Gibson in row 2. Lyle and Aziz in row 3. Merkel and Clements row 4. Crawford and Lacasse in row 5. Lauterbach and Vega in row 6. As we're still waiting on someone. Row 7 has Hunt and Daniel Rodriguez. Row 8, Skylar Deeg and Troxel. Row 9 has Trawick and Cole Rodriguez. Row 10, Bedimlik and Howell. Row 11 has Teague and Armstrong. Then row 12, McElrath and Mather. Then is Gregory and Carter in row 13 with Johnson and McCrow, row 14. Row 15, Dragons making, I believe it is, their BPNR debuts. And Joe Schmuda, the last driver to set lap time, while Matt McIntyre was the bozo we were waiting on, who did not opt for a lap time. 31 cars for a very tight road course, so this is going to be, I wouldn't say a doozy, but as they head out for happy hour, going to ride on board with likely Dunlop Pratt, because knowing him, assuming, never mind. I was gonna say knowing him, he doesn't usually practice pit lane during happy hour, but he just proved me wrong by going off. So I'm going to go on board with Cole Mather, assuming he doesn't pit. And he overshoots. Is there someone we can go on board with? He's pitting. Can we get someone? Okay, Mirko's staying out. We're gonna go on board with him. And down a very short front straightaway. You go down on the brakes for turn 1, and right here, right hand turn, gotta get power down just right as you slip in the rears, gotta set yourself up for the S's. Take down a bit quick, but not too quick, because here, the braking zone at turn 3, gotta take the long left turn of turn 4, setting yourself up to turn 5, a little bit of a kink. Go down this second straightaway. Downhill braking zone turn 6, I believe this is where you're gonna catch people that lowest point of track right there. And then you gotta climb back up on exits. And you gonna soon hit the summit down the final stretch. And go down, back down into a downhill braking zone. That compresses the car in a weird way, so you could get away with a little bit. Out of turn 7 as he nearly avoids the 27 car as a lap around Barbagallo. Very interesting racetrack. It just, when it comes to this track, it's really about braking. I feel that the easiest braking point in the entire track is actually turn 1. It's flat, it's just straight up flat, and doesn't really deceive you in a weird way. But as you go further down the track, it's really difficult. Get the S's where you can't really get a straight line going through, so you're gonna have to compromise in a weird way. So just kind of just diamond the corner, turn 4 a little bit. As you see Armstrong taking his laps. While in happy hour downhill braking zone, like I mentioned, turn 6. Got quite a bit of compression here. You can see it better. Like, the lowest point of track is it's actually the apex, so it's a weird little thing. Yeah, up the summit. And go on board here. I'm gonna actually pause it here. So, this isn't technically an uphill braking zone, but this is from going downhill back to the flat, and usually when you're uphill braking, you can get away with a little bit more as the car compresses itself into the ground, but the caveat being, and I don't know if the drivers are experiencing this, if you slam the ground too hard, I'm gonna say right here probably, is like, you could actually find yourself bottoming out. So the skirts of the car grazes the pavement, and more often than not, it'll cause your car to go out of control, whether it be lack of brakes or just spins you or tightens up. It's really strange behavior, especially in NR. Really depends on the track, but I feel like for tonight, it's likely the first one where you suffer lack of braking. So ultimately, it neutrals out. So what you'll find probably today is that some people are trying to gamble and ultimately overshoot turn 7 and into the gravel trap. For tonight, being told as the driver's meeting is ongoing, there will not be a choose gun tonight. It'll just be single file for tonight, as well as all the road courses. There's been a bit of a change since the last time we came here. That was when D2 had arrived. Mainly due to pit lane entry. There used to be a tire barrier on the left-hand side of your screen. It kind of just sets up a rear chicane into pit entry. That's been removed. So that will mean a little bit more room for error, if you will. And because we have enough cars for it this time, this is another thing I could mention. A double-sided pit lane. Now, NR is strange. It can't... You think it would be... Let me go to the front here. You think it would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. NR isn't programmed to handle that. So, what ends up happening is stalls 1 through 20, likely. I'm gonna just use Bristol as the example. Stalls 1 through 20 are lined up on one side, and 21st through 42nd lined up on the other side. Now, I don't know, where did Zach qualify? That's a good question. 22nd, so 1st through 21st have what is driver's left side of the pit lane, while everyone else 22nd on back has the right hand side. So ultimately, Zach, if he's willing to gamble, he could gain more positions just by having the first stall on the right hand side. And assuming he ever gets side by side with Viola, our pole sitter, he has the advantage into turn 1. Because he's on the right hand side, the corner goes to the right. So whether that happens, I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see under caution if we ever get one, how pit stops will look at Barbagallo. Got nice closer to 2 minutes until the race, probably even sooner. Okay, first workhorse of the season, I did mention D2 ran here before, and just recently it was announced from BPNR that D2 is back. There have been selected drivers that haven't done well in D1 just either by being too slow or just are a hazard to the D1 drivers. So a separate division has been created and what would be their second season of competition. I don't have the schedule on me, but I do know that that division will start in April at Kentucky Speedway. And just chilling now. Got 34 laps. I actually checked the garage. I don't think that's right, so I'm just presuming it's 18 laps on a normal run. So it's likely going to set up a one-stop strategy and gotta also take care of your tires. Not that the track is abrasive, but I've been talking about the braking points and how different these zones are from each other. It gets progressively more challenging as the course goes on per lap. So preventing lockups, especially around here at the final corner and at turns into turn 6, that will be key to managing your tires and being able to go just a bit longer. And at a road course, a lap can make all the difference. Happy hour. Ready to wrap up now. Just 10 seconds left. Got 31 cars. And pit lane speed 35. You can't really see it because track map is goofy, but yeah, we are ready to go soon. Say 4 laps, 39 in the event of overtime, which I highly doubt, but you never know. Do I fully expect a lap 1 wreck? Absolutely. You can't just go down into turn 1, you can't just running over each other, and if that doesn't kill people, then you gotta somehow funnel themselves through the S's here. And that will catch up quite a people. Especially on the initial start. I want to also presume the restarts if someone is able to go side by side to turn 1 and haven't been able to clear themselves on exit. Finally about to wrap up, so might as well get set up here for what should be a pretty good race here in Down Under.
Drivers, to your cars.
Quickly gets going to quickly set up here. 31 cars slated to take the green flag, and Viola has the pole, but will start on the outside, which is a bit of a goofy NR2003 moment. So Carter Friesen trying to go back to back. He won last Tuesday at Chicagoland. He's looking to go back to back. After interviewing him last race, he was very confident in this race. They'll eventually come through turn 7. Eventually. Here they are. Race car goes wide to enter the pit lane. It shall be Viola and Friesen leading us to green. Waiting, very late green flag, but we are underway in Aussie territory, and they already wrecked. That is Elaine Johnson into the wall, but it's only a single car accident. Viola, despite the outside deficit, is going to clear Carter Friesen out of turn 1. There was another wreck towards the back, but they seem to have that cleared up. Everyone trying to negotiate through as they exit turn 4 onto 5. The leaders on their way to 6. Well, the cast way up top. It's gonna be careful not to go off. It's just the one place where you shouldn't be going wide at. But out of 7, it'll be William Viola leading the opening lap. A lot of people going wide. It's allowed, but I honestly don't recommend it given the pit lane is right there. Lock up here, I believe that was from Troxel. Could be wrong though. It races official side-by-side through the S's, that being Merkel in the number 24, Aziz in the number 14, sponsored by Red Bull for this race. Trying to give some of the Aussie inspiration. That would be a successful defense for Aziz in P6. Hasn't really been moving around from his starting spot after almost 2 laps completed so far. Merkel trying the inside through 7, unable to get close enough to peek his nose under. It's mostly got single file now, so we should expect a lot of calmness. Just people trying to put laps in and get to the end of this thing. A little bit doozy back here. That's Dragons making their BPNR debuts. And the number 78 NOS Ford Mustang, kind of just struggling out there. Didn't get a good qualifying position, and they're kind of just up in it for the long run. Julian Howell tips his tires into the grass. And that'll be Alexander Hunt's going wide. That's the one place you don't want to overshoot. He gets it corrected, and we remain green flag. Back here, this is for 10th place. Between the Casa and the gray Toyota. And he is cleared. Clements, that's for P8, sorry. Oh, contact. That is Gibson going for a slide. And he saves it. Wanna quickly get a look, hopefully. I do apologize. Let me go find him. There was lane going around trying to find Gibson, but I do apologize. I just couldn't find it, but just happening now. Eric Crawford goes around. Quick replay. He gets hit at turn 6 by Aiden Lacasse. the downhill braking, it's easy to overshoot it. That would cost the defending winner of this racetrack in BPNR good amount of positions. He was P12 at the last scoring loop. And now he's going to drop down to 25th. From leading all or most of the D2 race and lapping the field, which is something that's rarely been done in BPNR, and now he finds himself towards the back. Not necessarily ready to go lap down, as the leaders are still William Viola and Stephen Gibson, top two. They're about to enter turn 7. Got as Friesen third, LaPrade fourth, and Landon Lau completing your top 5 with Aziz Clements. Bottom back, the two Interstate Batteries Toyotas fighting each other. Then it is Bedimlik and a new purple Shackless shit. I don't even know what this sponsor is, bruh. I never heard of this. But it's a new livery nonetheless for Bedimlik, while Thomas Troxel currently has a top 10. Catching traffic soon. You better hope, if you're Viola, that you get traffic at optimally the best places possible. I wouldn't suggest getting traffic through the S's. But just, honestly, all of Sector 2 is just kind of just a bad place to get traffic and having to pass them there. As Bigari's doing a bit of lawn mowing service. Not that the track ever needs it. Gary Crawford, after his spin, up to 22nd right now. And someone's back there in the dirt. That is Brandon Carter. In the 101 Toyota. Look, Friesen had a problem. And also Landon back. Going for a spin at turn 4, that's a bad place to go off at. But take a look at Carter Friesen here. I think he just slipped the tires. I don't know what I've been blabbing about. My bad. He looks slow, which is very easy to miss the corner at turn 6, so I just presumed wrong. Lane Johnson in the grass, turn 4, while the leaders are on approach. The 55 gets out of the way. Up next is McIntyre. He did do the D2 race here, and honestly, it was just a race to forget for the number 48 team. They're back, hoping to do a little bit better, and they'll be on the verge of going a lap down. He's going to lock up. He's gonna try to stay out of the way of the leaders here, and he'll be into the pits. Not optimal. But not optimal is also Brandon Carter in the pit lane. Both of them with their issues. We're only 7 laps in of the scheduled 34. Viola leading every lap so far. Oh, that is Stephen Gibson. He is off at turn 4. I think that's a tire. Looks to be a tire, and he's going. Oh, that's just bad luck, man. That's just sandbox. The PTF file just giving the middle finger to the number 21 car. And I think that's a retirement. Yep, 21. Stephen Gibson out from 2nd place. That is really unfortunate. Shmuda in the pits. The Viola has built up a bit more of a gap now. Now it is Carter Friesen who occupies 2nd with the Prad in 3rd. Jolene Sims isn't here, so he will inherits the point lead. Just a matter of how much he can capitalize on that advantage. Currently sitting third. And just being down the Pratt just behind him though is Landon Lyle. Wasn't too thrilled with how Chicago went in terms of his own race as well as just adminning the race, so Barbagallo, first workhorse of the season, a little bit more calmer, but he also has Colin Teague, who has opted not to race as the off-track admin, which is very much needed here at a road course. Yep, Gibson, first retirement of the race. Tyler Z's 5th place. Hasn't been setting the world on fire in this race, but yep, his Indianapolis win kind of just gave him a little bit more motivation to work with. He went here at Gnarl when they visited the track and did fairly well. I believe he almost won that race. I could be wrong. But he sits 5th in reach of 3rd place as they have caught McIntyre. Gonna go a little ways back. That's Dakota Vega in the sand trap at turn 6. But behind him is also Daniel Rodriguez. I want to see what happened to the 6th car here. It was actually at turn 7. I think. Or was it the next lap? It's a bit goofy. I don't know what it is. Just not getting lucky with replays, I suppose. Little scrap here. This is for P11 with Cole Mather leading the train, occupied by Jelani Howell, and a Lodenbach who had that spin at this very corner. Trywig in the new Shell V-powered Chevrolet Camaro. Just behind them is Zach Armstrong, also a new livery. Really slippery is in 12 as there's contact between the two Toyotas of Howell and Lodenbach, and that allowed Trywig to slip through. Be side by side, this is for P12. 97 has the advantage into this corner. Lodenbach really wide, but he's going to pit. Jelani Howell able to defend despite that little mess at turn 6. And that brought in William Gregory and Skylar Deeg into this mix. There's spin behind him. That is Daniel Rodriguez who gets hit by Brandon Carter. This is the exit of turn number 1. He'll get pointed the right way. And just behind him, his teammates of Elaine Johnson just struggling out there. Barry Crawford just trying to pull away from race leader William Viola to prevent him from going a lap down. That is, well, he wouldn't be the next car to go a lap down as Daniel Rodriguez has found the tire barrier at turn 4. And reports that the number 6 of Dakota Vega, we saw him in the gravel trap. He has lost 3rd gear as Elaine Johnson also makes a mistake. She'll go 1 lap down. See this time by. How many cars are left on the lead lap now that Harry Crawford has picked up a couple of spots? 19, so 19 cars on the lead lap, and Zach Armstrong is in the pits. This is lap 13, so it must have been abusing his tires a little bit too much. 1 stop is possible, but I see most of these drivers at this point taking 2 stops to get to the checkered flag. Who else? Give me. Yep, this is just pretty much green flag pit stops. Not everyone is confident that they can go all the way on a one stop. That is, but Dimlex is exiting his box. Merkel gains surface. Dan Rodriguez, we saw him been it a few times. Bradley Trawick trying to put an advantage, but she barely overshoots her pit box. That'll cost her some time. July Howell into the pits. And that'll be our second retirement confirmed, as Vega goes around just in front of this little group as Elaine Johnson, who has retired, second one of the night. Remember that 6 car doesn't have third gear, so it's gonna be a bit of a struggle here at the road course. Just trying to stay out of the way. And stage points are coming up too, I've just been reminded. As Mac McIntyre slow. Very slow. Set 113 last time round. Bro has just been struggling, and yeah, it's much like the D2 race where he's been butted last for the entire thing. Alan Z's making quick work of Cole Mather. As pit stops are ongoing, gotta look towards the front here. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Menabiola opting to stay out so far, and I don't think he has a big enough gap where he can pit this time by and keep the stage win. There isn't a caution for it, but those 15 points are valuable. We'll see this time by whether or not he pits. And he's not going to, so Benny-Viola will win the halfway. Reminder, no caution for it, as McIntyre bins it. A lot of these drivers are just playing safe, but not these guys though, they're wanting stage points. Carter Friesen, P2 across the line, Dunlap Pratt's third. Going to find Clements in P4. And assuming I can find P5. That used to go to Lando Lau, but he's in the pit lane, but I believe he still got stage points out of that. And be a third retirement, that being Dakota Vega at number 6 for gearbox trouble. So most of the field has to do a 2-stop now. So one more pit stop for them. Top 5, and I want to say even 6 with Troxel and crew. They gonna pit from here and go the rest of the way as race leader William Viola into the pits. Oh, he's too far back. He kind of push up just a little bit more. LePrat in the pit, same lap. I saw Clement stay out. There's Troxel. And behind him will be Cole Rodriguez. Viola out of the pits just ahead of Ada McCrow. Currently over halfway in the 4th round of the BPNR Season 8 race here at Barbagallo. As pit stops are starting to wrap up, we'll see a good indicator of who is in the lead and who isn't. As was race leader Joshua Clements in the pits. He goes a lap longer than Viola. And listing Carter Friesen as the race leader. There he is, entering turn 6, trying to go back to back after his brilliant win at Chicago. Now, he's one of the few drivers yet to pit, and as I say that, he does so. 20 laps on his set tires, and he locks up into the pits. That'll be a blown tire. He's already in the pits, but it will cost him an extra second or two as the pit crew try to jack up this right side. And just passing him on the track is William Viola. Pitted the earliest out of these the three of himself, Clements, and Friesen. But he has led most of the laps today. Led all the laps prior to this pit cycle. And Clements is gonna do a little bit of work. He's currently listed P7 as he has P5 and 6 battling just ahead of him as Lionel Al tips his toes into the grass. And Clements just really has to be patient. He has better tires as Landon Lonneback cleanups. Clements just has to be patient. He has better tires than these two. And his berth is going to be in salvation as Landon Lyle has overshot and will lose 6th place. Now Clements only has Bedimlik to worry about to get back into the top 5. Well, never mind, that's the timing board update. Clements is in the top 5 now, but this is for 4th place. Little ways up is Laprade, who will occupy the points lead. Little mid-off going off here between Deeg, McCrow, and McGelry. This is for P19. We could go down into turn 7, see which one of them will benefit. It'll be Deeg. Getting 19s out of that exchange as they cross the line. McGelry's isn't done though. Well, 18s now. Trying to maximize 4 into 5. Get as straight as you can as they got Shmuda up the road here. The Deeg was forced to set it in, but they were able to get clear. And Laprade is ready to put this group a lap down. Laprade P3. They're trying to make quick work of the traffic while Viola continues to lead 23 laps complete of the scheduled 34. Gonna find Tyler Aziz P2 right now. He is the earliest to pit, and he has to pit again, I'm pretty sure. And the prior P3 is before Damic 4th, Lau 5th, Merkel 6th, Clements 7th. Gonna find Carter Friesen in 8th. And all the way back here in the S's is 9th and 10th of Cole Rodriguez and Thomas Troxel. Quite a bit of DNFs actually, got 6 of them. As McIntyre spins. It'll be Lonneback, the most recent, along with Cole Mather. And his Vega, Daniel Rodriguez with a header issue. His teammate Lee Johnson retired, and the 21 Stevie Gibson, we saw him on the onboard. Just spun and got really unlucky with the damage. trying to get back on course. Leader has 10 laps left. About to be 9 to go this time by. Just picking up the traffic one by one, as that is Briley Trawick. Really lose out of 6. She's going to get passed by Harry Crawford. That is for position. Harry Crawford, after his spin early on, is back into the top 15. Comfy lead for Viola. Next up the road, Anna Cass, ready to go one lap down. I believe that is... Yep, the 49 just got lapped, so the Cass now last car on the lead lap. It just hasn't been... We haven't had a caution all race, and just not playing favorably into those who've made mistakes. And unfortunately, that included quite a bit of people. Change here, this is for 16th between Howell and Gregory, down to 7. Howell backs out. Gonna let Gregory overshoot the corner, only by a tiny bit. But number 30 able to defend it for P16. Gonna take a quick look at the fastest lap chart. That is Carter Friesen at the top of the board with a 56.57. And second place, retirement of Stevie Gibson. He was second fastest. Race leader, William Viola, only third fastest. I presume it's likely because he doesn't want to push his tires. So he can translate this into a one-stop victory. A dominating win at that. Aziz is hoping for a caution by this point because he pitted the earliest out of most of the field in the ideal window. And Viola can make it from here. If Aziz has to pit early, then that track position he has, currently P2, is not going to come into fruition. He has a bit of a gap towards LaPrade in third. LaPrade pitted at 1 lap after halfway. So that's quite a ways of an advantage that LaPrade has over Aziz. So 6 laps left. Aziz gotta hope that a caution comes out soon to get the track position for the late race shootouts. Clements is 6th right now. He is the last car. He was the latest car to pit out of those in the ideal window. Will quite a ways back. He's not close, nowhere near close enough to William Viola, as William Gregory has gone for an off-track excursion at turn 4. And Dragons into the grass, nearly overshoots 7. Gotta be careful of that tire barrier, but he keeps it out. And Merkel out the race. That is retirement number 7. And only 9 cars on the lead lap. Zach Armstrong holds a 10th place spot, but he is a lap down to race leader. Yep, there he is, just in the back here. He just got lapped. As we hit 5 laps to go, overtime is possible here. Gonna be 4 to go this time. William Villa leading most of the laps today. And he doesn't have much longer before he sees the checker flag. Tyler Z's second. I don't suppose his strategy will work out too well as LaPrade has caught him in a hurry. Then it's Bidimlik fourth, trying to stay out of the way of this battle here as they allow forced to go up wide. And it's Clement sixth. Find Carter Friesen at seventh. And it's Cole Rodriguez in eighth. Thomas Troxel in P9. And it'll be Zach Armstrong 10th, 1 lap down. Trying to find some battle, and most of them were lapped down towards each other. Looks like Friesen will be unable to go back to back unless a caution were to occur within the closing laps here. As he got a little bit of battle going on with a crow, but makes quick work of them. 3 to go. Just want to raise that Billy Viola has had. I want to point towards I-4 at the Daytona Road Course. While Stevie Gibson ran away with it, he had a fierce battle with Jolene Sims for the second place spot. And after brilliantly saving his tires to at least get a runner-up finish. He would like to win that race, but I suppose it's a good exchange as he hits 2 to go. And look at the distance LaPrade has closed out. That was, see, this time by actually 1 second a lap faster LaPrade is to Talaziz. And LaPrade has his sights on the number 14 up the road. And the leader will hit the white flag this time. We're almost done with this. The conclusion, lap 34. And Viola has one more turn till he sees the white flag, making the quick conclusion that there will not be an overtime. Final lap from Australia. Going to turn back towards that battle for second. Aziz sliding his tires. And another second picked off for LaPrade as there's some wreck that has been cleared up at the exit turn 1, but now no cars separate the 14 and the 3. This is going to be a fierce battle for second place. Well, only 3 had to back off to not run him over. Aziz has 2 more corners to able to defend this, and he's going to defend it well into turn 6. But coming out of the final corner, dominance for William Viola. He's used to it. He won the clash, and he will win his first points race here in Barbagallo. Bound for 11's getting a bit nasty, but second place remains clean as the cat spins across the line. It'll be in Talazi's second place, and Don LaPrade completing the podium. Caution-free race for the first time this season, and Viola makes great work of it. I want to say he led all but 5 laps, but I cannot confirm that. Did well in IFR's Daytona Road Course race. And this is great for Viola. And a pretty abysmal Daytona Speed Weeks in BPNR after his crash win. That's the only bright spot of his day. He went through the dual races and the Daytona 150 flipping in both of them. But this time around, only a calm race. Kind of. At least for him. And he'll get his first win of the season. And yeah, the official order won't be official until he crosses the line. He's going to do it in fashion. Going to go backwards across the line. There he goes. And just waiting for the burnouts. I suppose Beal is waiting for the order to be official. There he goes. Order is official. He can burn it down. In front of the Aussie crowd. What a race that was for Viola. Quick look at the unofficial results, assuming they haven't been changed. Ray Viola, you were Burgess victorious in Australian soil. Carter Friesen P2. Something. I don't think that's right. I think it's Aziz P2, then the Pratt P3. Carter Friesen, I saw him in 7th, I believe. So that top 10 is mostly incorrect. Kind of just goofy. Then Hunt, Crawford, Trawick, McCass, McCrow, top 15. Then it is Deeg, Gregory, Howell, McGilveys, and Brandon Carter, completing your top 20. Jenkins in his debut 21st, McIntyre 22nd, and the last car to finish the race. Then it's Burkle, Schmuda, Lineback, Mather, Vega, Daniel Rodriguez, Lane Johnson, and Stephen Gibson, 30th and last place, completing the 30-car grid that started the race. Oh boy, do I need a drink before interviewing people. Stay hydrated. Okay, should be ready to go. I'm going to pull up race winner.
User was moved to your channel.
William, do you got me?
I got you.
And what a dominating performance that was in front of the Australian crowd. Talk us through your race.
It's been a while since I've done that. I've always been quick at road courses, but it's been a minute. I'm surprised I got pole looking at some of those practice times. I didn't even hit a .5 in practice, and there's a couple people hitting like .3s. Um, yeah, I knew that Carter and Steven were going to be quick, but I knew how big the tire wear was, or how much the tire wear was going to matter for this race, and I just saved the whole time, and it got me to the end. I heard that Steven went off somewhere, hit an invisible wall. I don't know what happened to Carter. Um, what a just crazy, crazy race.
And while half of your win was due to that those behind you falling apart, I did think that after your performance in the I-4 Daytona Road Course race, you were a really good threat here tonight. Did any of that translate into tonight?
Um, it definitely. I've definitely been trying to find, because of how much Steven dominated that race. He won by like 18 seconds. So I've definitely been, looking for more time um and wherever I could get it. And yeah, those last 6 laps, I had third gear blow. I almost thought I was gonna lose it for a second.
Well, the mechanical gremlin wasn't ideal, but at least you had a big enough gap to remain the victor. Thank you for joining me. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Demigods, second, please here.
User was moved to your channel.
Talaziz, do you got me? Well, I didn't think your strategy was going to work, given how early you pitted, if I'm not mistaken, but you managed to survive. Held up Dunlop Prad for a P2 finish.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was not intending on paying that early, but I lost a bit of focus, like on lap one, which is how I nearly killed Lyle, and I lost a lot on my right front from that. So it was a bit like late in the run, just by Lyle, like game by Lyle after he half spun. I was struggling to get by Laprade. I caught up to Frieza and Laprade, but I just couldn't like get by them. So I figured it's just better if I like undercut them. And it worked out well. I was cutting it a bit close. I realized like with 5 to go that like I'm at like 50% or something like that. So I had to like really manage it to make sure to bring the tires home at the end of the race, and I barely hung on, thankfully. So yeah, it was a bit of it's a good trade-off there. I wanted stage points originally, but I got extra points anyways by giving up stage points, so I'll definitely take that for sure. Especially because I'll be, missing next week. So yeah.
Well, I suppose you did a bit of homework. As far as I remember, when Gnarl went to this track, you did very well here.
Yeah. Yeah, I did pretty well. Obviously I threw away to win, but I was able to manage my stuff pretty well here, and I felt like I still did a great job for the most part, for my standards at least, because I burned out my tires pretty quickly still in a lot of these tracks. I think for my standards, I did pretty well managing my tires the best I can, and also managing the gaps. And got a podium at the end of it. Obviously, like Will was in a whole different zip code, but that was expected when when he got the pole. He's really fast on these road courses, so.
Well, congratulations on your run-up finish. Thank you for joining me.
User was moved out of your channel.
And no one else is in the waiting room, so I suppose we wrap up. Coming up in our online space, CCRS in 2 days' time will head to Trenton, the little 1.2 mile question mark bean shaped track. You got right hand turn on an oval. Then Friday, busy week per usual. Budweiser heads to Riverside for their first race. That'll be broadcasted here. Gnarl heads to Hillside, a fictional papyrus road course. That'll be at 10 p.m. Later on that night, Essex heads to Bluegrass. So all three leagues on Friday heading to a road course. Two of them will be streamed on Cheese Food Media. Then Saturday, IFAR heads to Atlanta for real this time. Remember that rounds 3 and 5 were swapped around because Atlanta wasn't ready 2 Saturdays ago. So now, hopefully, it should be ready by then, and should expect very good racing on Cheese Food Media. Next time on BPNR, remember D2 doesn't start up until April, so Five Flags will be up next for what is now the D1 division. The first short track of the season, that will be covered here, the usual. Next time I stream, it'll be on a Friday. And I suppose a little bit of a side quest. I am working on a video, a POV video that will release, I don't know when, but ideally during the week, this remaining week. So until Friday, I shall see you